There is a moment before every performance when the noise disappears, before the lights, before the crowd, before the name becomes familiar. In that silence, success is never guaranteed. It never was. The world knows him as Bruno Mars. But long before stadiums, awards, and global recognition, there was a child performing in hotel lounges, learning discipline before understanding ambition. Applause came early. Stability did not. Bruno Mars was born as Peter Gene Hernandez on October 8, 1985, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He grew up in a household where music was not a dream or a future plan. It was the family profession. His mother was a singer and dancer. His father was a percussionist. Music wasn't discussed, it was practiced. From an early age, he appeared on stage with his family band, the Love Notes, performing regularly in hotel lounges across Hawaii. While most children were learning routines at school, he was learning timing, crowd control, and endurance. The stage was not intimidating, it was familiar. As he grew older, he became known locally as Little Elvis, performing Elvis Presley impersonations with confidence far beyond his age. Tourists smiled, cameras rolled. Bruno quoted, "I'm a big fan of 1950s Elvis," when he would go on stage and scare people because he was a force, and girls would go nuts. You can say the same thing for Prince or the Police. It's just guys who know that people are here to see a show. So I watch those guys and I love studying them because I'm a fan. Applause followed, but when the lights went out, reality returned. Regarding his dancing influences, Mars explained anybody that was natural, including Tina Turner. Others included Jackson, Prince, and Jackie Wilson, as there was a confidence born of the assurance of knowing what they look like on stage. His parents divorced. Financial pressure followed. There were periods when the family struggled to maintain stable housing. Music continued, not as luxury, but as survival. It was the one constant. At school, he stood out, smaller than others. Different, always performing. Music slowly shifted from something he enjoyed into something he relied on. It became structure. It became identity. After finishing high school, he left Hawaii and moved to Los Angeles to pursue music professionally. The move came with hope, but the industry offered resistance. A record deal was signed. Expectations rose. Then the deal quietly ended. No releases, no momentum, no recognition. This is where most careers disappear. Instead of leaving, he adjusted. Mars said about moving to Los Angeles, "I'd always been a working musician in Hawaii. And then it's like, now I'm in LA and my phone's getting shut off." That's when reality hit. I started DJing. I told this person I could DJ because they said they could pay me $75 cash under the table. I didn't know how to DJ. I lost that job pretty quick. Bruno Mars stepped away from the spotlight and focused on songwriting and production. He learned how hits were built from the inside. Structure, hooks, emotion. He became part of a production team called the Smeezingtons, alongside Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine. For years, his work existed without his name. He co-wrote and co-produced Right Round for Flo Rida. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the fastest-selling digital singles at the time. Millions heard it. Few knew who helped create it. He co-wrote Long Distance for Brandy, proving his ability to write emotionally across genres. He co-wrote and co-produced Wave and Flag, Coca-Cola Celebration Mix, for Kanan, later chosen as the official anthem of the FIFA World Cup. His music echoed across stadiums worldwide while he remained largely invisible. He co-wrote Get Sexy for Sugababes and Who's That Chick for David Guetta featuring Rihanna, records that dominated clubs and international radio. He continued writing across styles, cultures, and markets. He co-wrote Mirror for Lil Wayne and All She Knows for Sean Kingston. Later, he co-wrote Young, Wild, and Free for Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, a song that became a cultural anthem and received multiple award nominations. By the time his own voice reached the charts, his songwriting had already lived there. When his solo breakthrough arrived, it felt sudden to the public, but earned to him. His debut album introduced a voice the industry already trusted behind closed doors. Public recognition arrived on February 13, 2011, when he won his first Grammy Award for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Just the Way You Are. The song had already broken records, topping charts in multiple countries and becoming one of the best-selling singles of the year. Momentum accelerated. Bruno Mars became the first male artist to have his first 5 singles reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. His songs dominated radio, streaming platforms, and live performances simultaneously. With each album, records followed. Unorthodox Jukebox produced multiple #1 hits. 24K Magic earned widespread acclaim and went on to win Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. In one Grammy night, he won 6 awards, sweeping major categories including Record of the Year and Album of the Year, a rare achievement that placed him among elite company. His live performances became legendary. His Super Bowl halftime show was one of the most watched in history, reinforcing his reputation as one of the strongest live performers of his generation. His tours broke records as well. The 24K Magic World Tour grossed over $370 million, ranking among the highest-grossing tours of all time. Bruno Mars also became one of the few artists to win Record of the Year multiple times at the Grammy Awards, tying long-standing industry records previously held by legends. Across his career, he has won 16 Grammy Awards, held multiple Guinness World Records, and sold more than 150 million records worldwide. These achievements place him among the best-selling artists in music history. Yet numbers alone do not explain longevity. What explains it is restraint. He disappeared between albums, returned only when the work felt complete. He didn't chase trends. He studied them, absorbed them, and reshaped them through his own lens. His collaboration with Silk Sonic wasn't a reinvention. It was a reminder that patience, chemistry, and musical respect still matter in an industry driven by speed. The defining element of his rise is not scale, it is transition, from child performer to invisible songwriter to global artist. This was not overnight success. It was accumulated skill, repeated adaptation, long patience. Years spent understanding every layer of the industry, from small hotel stages in Hawaii to global arenas. His story reflects a truth often ignored. Progress doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like being overlooked. Sometimes it looks like building something before anyone notices. And sometimes that unseen work becomes the reason everything else lasts. Bruno Mars didn't arrive suddenly. He arrived prepared. If there is something to learn from his story, it is not how to become famous. It is how success actually forms. Talent alone is rarely enough. What mattered more was staying. Staying when recognition didn't come. Staying when his name wasn't visible. Staying when others received the credit. His rise wasn't loud, it wasn't fast, and it wasn't obvious while it was happening. But when it became visible, it endured. This is what persistence looks like when it finally finds its moment. This was In My Shoes.